And shout out to our sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a counseling service that you can use where they have licensed professionals in so many different fields. A lot of times on the show, we highly, highly, highly recommend that anyone going through any sort of depression or relationship issues or dealing with some sort of crisis or something going in your life that, we all go through stuff that's just overwhelming, to go see a professional. But oftentimes it's really expensive and maybe
intimidating.
You think, it's intimidating. Maybe you don't know where to start to go find a professional in that area. Or if there's something preventing you from achieving your goals, well, you can go to check out betterhelp.com/Steve.
That's the best part.
We didn't pick the / okay?
I picked it.
It's because who needs the help more is Steve, and that's why.
When you need help, you just got one name to think about.
Yeah.
/Steve.
Steve. Yes. They have different professionals for depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma, anger, family conflicts, all sorts of stuff. So I want you to start living a happier life today, okay? As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/Steve.
Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Steve. Because when you need help, there's only one name to call, and that's BetterHelp. And then it's also /Steve.
Wanted to give a shout out to our sponsor today, Truebill. Okay, I was literally just thinking if there was an app like this the other day, because I have so many subscriptions and one just renewed itself and I didn't realize that I was still subscribed to it, and it was like $100 subscription. So what Truebill does is they put all of your subscriptions all in one place, and you can cancel them anytime you want to, like where you just click of a button, you can see where they all are. There's a concierge, and you can like actually manage all of the subscriptions that you probably forgot that you had.
Dude, so when I first moved to LA, I lived in this apartment complex, and they made me buy insurance, and the insurance got auto paid every month, and I never thought about it. Well, 2.5 years later, after I moved out of it, I realized I was getting this recurring charge for like $26 a month. I was like, what the hell is this thing?
Oh my God.
I called them and I was like, yo, you guys, I paid you guys like $2,500 in insurance for this place. I don't live there anymore. And they're like, tough. And I'm like, can you guys just refund me? I didn't do anything. And they're like, you can take us to small claims court.
Wow.
Like, it's part of their business model.
Yeah, it really is. It's a scam.
So yeah, no, look, I've been waiting for a service like this. Truebill, they
could save you hundreds of dollars. Like if your ex is still using your Netflix, when people like,
oh yeah.
You give your Netflix password to, and then you're not friends with them anymore. Like you broke up with them.
True.
And then they're still watching your Netflix.
Oh, and gym memberships, dude. If you want to cancel a gym membership, we went through this recently. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. You have to like email all kinds of shit. But don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/STDTY. Go right now to truebill.com/STDTY. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/STDTY. Hello, welcome back to Shit They Don't Tell You. I'm Nikki Limo.
Hello, what's up? It's Scripted King, and I'm Chen, just saying what's up.
Today, we are answering more of your questions because we have received more questions. Well, that's what we do when we receive them, or we try to. Usually, we try to do that. If you would like to submit a question, you can always submit to podcast@nikki.limo. That's podcast@nikki.limo. And we will try to answer them as soon as possible. Also, just a disclaimer.
We answer them in the order in which they are received.
That's not true. We answer them on how interesting the title sounds.
That's very true.
Or if there's like not that many, then I guess we'll answer all of them.
But as a person who is just on hold, that's what they say, and
yeah,
that's how it feels.
Yeah, well, get off the hold. I don't want you here.
They don't want you on hold either.
Yeah, exactly.
And they play the most annoying, worst music ever.
They try to drive you crazy.
Yeah, they really do.
I get spiteful though. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking stay on this just to spite you.
I'll stay on hold for 6 months.
I was on the phone with the IRS, which is probably the worst one.
Yeah.
And
what do they play?
It was like 2 hours. Okay, they play the most annoying music, but then also every 5 seconds, and I'm not even joking, I'm not exaggerating.
Your call is important to us.
No.
Oh,
they tell you how you can go online and solve your problems, even though you can't go online and solve your problems. Just another trick.
I'm doing the same thing right now.
With what? The IRS?
NFL shop.
What happened there? What'd you get?
I'm trying to get a hoodie.
Trying to get a hoodie for what?
A little Colts hoodie.
Oh. Why don't you just wait for till Christmas and let people get you presents?
Look, I don't count on people. People will disappoint you.
Okay. Our first question is titled, Would love your input from an overthinker and longtime fan. I think this is going to drive me insane. Sad emoji. Oh no. Okay. What is it, writer of this email? Hi, Nikki and Steve. First of all, I just want to say I absolutely love you guys. I look up to both of you and respect your opinions so much. So I'd love to hear your input on this situation. If you can't get to it, just know I absolutely love you guys. Y'all are my favorite. Heart emoji.
Whoa,
Aw,
thank you.
that's very sweet. Oh, also, if you give us compliments, we are fueled by them and we'll probably answer your question better. So just to note, like for when you submit your question, like you should podcast at Nikki.Limo. And lots of compliments again, just like like this person did it pretty well. Okay. Now the question. My boyfriend had all of his most recent exes on his social media, and I expressed that it would make me more comfortable if his exes weren't on his social medias. He was totally understanding, said he wasn't actually friends with any of them, and deleted them. Well, months later, his one ex tried to send him a Snapchat and got mad because she realized he deleted her. She texted him like, oh, we can't be friends now. He told her he was respecting the relationship, nothing personal. And she proceeded to tell him, oh, that's not how relationships should go, but looks like you found another one that doesn't like me. What? LOL.
Whoa.
Yeah. He told me that they weren't even friends, cordial, maybe acquaintances at best, but not like friends. I can't help but overthink the situation, and sometimes it gives me so much anxiety. Why would she get so upset if they weren't friends? Do you think it was just a blow to her ego? Am I wrong for not wanting my boyfriend's ex to Snapchat him? If they were really good friends, then I guess, but otherwise I just don't see a need for it, and I don't see why she couldn't just respect our boundaries. I'd love to hear what you guys think of the situation. Am I being too insecure?
No.
I always try not to be, and to be the cool girl, quote unquote, but obviously that isn't the right thing to do. So in this case, I was trying to be honest with how I felt and just didn't want him following his exes and stuff. I feel like most people wouldn't be comfortable with an ex snapping / following their boyfriends. Thank you guys so much. Sorry if this was long-winded. I read through it and tried to make it shorter.
You
LOL.
did great. Cool girls are not uncomfortable. Cool girls are just cool girls because they're cool and they feel cool. If you don't feel cool and you feel a certain way in your own relationship, voice it. You did a masterful job, by the way.
Yeah, it was great.
You did nothing wrong. This person, they're obviously insecure about whatever the hell it is, and it's not your fault. You don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, you're not being possessive by stating something that makes you feel uncomfortable, and your partner was obviously really receptive to it right away.
You got a little gem.
All relationships are just agreements, so if one party was really offended by that and felt like they really needed to be friends with their exes, then that's a different conversation. But it sounds like you two are just like, yeah, sure, like same page. So it really is just his ex that's like freaking out.
And you don't have to care. It's a beautiful thing.
And he says that they're not even friends. So yeah, I would trust your partner on this one because it sounds like it was maybe just a blow to her ego or who knows what, like exes are weird and crazy. And sometimes exes think that they still are entitled to you even though you guys are broken up with just because they like
heart. Come on.
So you don't know. I think that she maybe
look, the thing is you don't owe her anything, and so you're handling this really well.
Sounds like they broke up for a reason. She sounds really controlling.
Yes.
Like, you should be able to talk to me and Snapchat me. Like, bitch, he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to Snapchat you.
Right, but then she's like, well, your new chick is controlling, but it's like, bro, you're the one.
You're the one controlling.
Homie.
Two people in a relationship are making their own rules with each other. And those are the only people that can make the agreement with each other. Outside people commenting that someone's being too whatever, it's none of your business. It's not your relationship.
Yep.
So.
But, on the internet, it's everyone's business.
I guess.
Well, they act like it.
Well, yeah, but in this situation, I don't feel like it's not really a public thing.
No, exactly.
Yeah. I don't think you should have anxiety or stress about this at all. I think that the more you ignore this girl, she'll just go away.
You did really good. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
Honestly. I think you handled this so well.
Yeah. I think both parties handled it well.
Yeah. No, but not the ex. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. She sounds like she has some issues to work out.
Yeah.
The next question is titled Crypto Thanks Prayer Emoji. Kia orana, Nikki and Iceman. Kia orana to you. Dropping by to say a huge thank you to you both. I have to say this is about crypto, but I'm including Nikki because I wouldn't have heard about Crypto Corner without Nikki's punny jokes making me a fan years ago. Ah, that's awesome. So, a Crypto Corner member.
Wow.
In April, I used to deliver newspapers in the early hours of the morning, and Shit They Don't Tell You kept me company in that solo job. Around the same time, Dogecoin hype reached New Zealand, so I had a little exposure to crypto, but had no plans to go near it due to lack of knowledge. Come one fateful paper run, Crypto Corner was mentioned in one of the Shit They Don't Tell You episodes, and I jumped at the opportunity to learn more. After catching up on Crypto Corner and lurking in the Discord chat, I did some of my own research too. I started to make moves and I bought a few coins. Fast forward to today, my current total return is sitting at 98%. Party emojis. Your talks about money in general plus crypto has put me one step closer to financial freedom for myself and family. So thanks again to you both. I appreciate it. 5 million. I hope you both keep inspiring others to level up in life. Heart emoji. Also, I'm missing Tasty Tuesday, but I've been enjoying all the other content you put out. With all of the thanks, Marcus. Oh, that's awesome.
Marcus,
congrats Marcus.
Seriously.
That's so rad. I mean, because it's one thing to like give advice or like say the things or to even like receive the advice and know the things, but then to actually apply them and see results is just life-changing.
Listen, Marcus, I hope that you understand that you're part of a movement that the environmental impact we're not really confident about right now, and so just because you changed your life with 98%, I hope you feel really guilty about it, because that's what a lot of people are doing out there right now. It's funny because the only industry that seems to be talked about when it comes to the environmental impact seems to be crypto, while the war economy and the things that we're all very accustomed to seem to skate.
Yeah.
So point being is that congrats, you did it.
Yeah, the other thing is like when any other market crashes, no one calls it a scam. I think that's so weird when people will just call something a scam without knowing anything about it.
Yeah, not knowing anything about it is the key, right?
Yeah.
And just saying the worst thing about it that you heard from somewhere and not really accepting the entire picture is a huge, huge mistake to make, especially like discounting an entire industry, an entire financial movement, frankly. And you just discard it because you found like maybe what you think is the worst thing about it, even though crypto is iterating towards an improvement to that.
Yeah.
And it, even like if you look at mining, the worst part of it, most crypto mining facilities are trying to tie into hydroelectric power to save on money because it actually saves them money.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just so funny to hear the FUD or the fear, uncertainty, doubt on crypto. It's actually really misinformed. So yeah,
yeah, I respect when really good investors, when a new industry pops up or a new market, they at least can say, hey, I don't understand it, but you go nuts, because like that's what Warren Buffett did when the internet was invented. Like a lot of people were trying to get him to invest in like the internet, like Microsoft and stuff. And he's like, yo, I don't understand it. I don't see how people are going to have access to it everywhere. I don't get how it works. But you go nuts on that and I'll stick to what I know. That's so different than
please.
Yeah.
But like, for example, the U.S. military gets a year-over-year budget increase every time. They're easily contributing more than 400 countries in the world, but nobody talks about that on the evening news. They talk about how crypto is maybe contributing to that. And it's so much lesser that it's like actually embarrassing. But then people don't really know that because they're just not really going to research crypto because they already decided it's evil or whatever.
Wait, what are you talking about? The energy? What is it?
Yeah, no,
okay. I missed
emissions.
it. I just missed the connection between the military.
So CO2 emissions.
Oh,
the
people
U.S.
are complaining
military
about that?
is the worst emitter. Worse than 350, 400 countries. But nobody talks about that when you talk about crypto and how bad it is for the environment. They just talk about how crypto is bad for the environment. They don't talk about
Are people still talking about how it's bad for the environment?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was like a passing thing.
Well, it definitely lessened recently because a lot of the FUD that came out at the time, like when Elon was saying like crypto was bad because of that, has been dissipated by the miners moving out of China, even though a lot of the Chinese miners were actually attached to hydroelectric power. But still, there's a lot of people who still believe that it's like that, and it's not. And it's just a frustrating thing when you're actually involved in the space and you see the space and you understand what people are trying to do.
Yeah.
And it's your financial system is being replicated on the blockchain. It's actually a great thing for you. Your money has mobility, whereas in our world, your money is controlled by a cartel that controls your money. And the reason why people cannot believe that some of the things that we can do, like with APYs and APRs, are so high, is because they're so trained by their banking institutions to believe that they can't make their money make money, which used to be the case when you banked. The banks used to pay you to because they take your money and make money.
Yeah.
And if you have an investment account, like even like just a traditional stock investment account, you can make 10% and nobody blinks an eye. But then when they take your money to make money and then they pay your savings account like 0.5% or something, you're supposed to be like, thank you so much, banks.
Yeah.
And so when people find out that you can do things like, you know, with Anchor Protocol, which is one of my favorite things that exists right now, 19.5% fixed on stablecoins, meaning that if you have money in a savings account right now and you're not using it, you're losing, as according to the new report on inflation, 6% a year to inflation just by holding your fiat currency, your money in a savings account. Whereas if you put this on the blockchain and you use some of these things that I'm talking about, like Anchor Protocol, you can get 19.5% fixed. And when I tell people that, they don't even think that it's real.
Yeah.
You can literally put in like $5,000 tonight and you can take it out 30 seconds later. Like, that's how real it is.
Yeah, because I guess it would be like, well, if that's real, then why isn't everyone doing it?
Exactly. What's the catch? I always hear what's the catch, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, people are trained to believe that just seems too crazy because I was taught that my money doesn't move like that.
Yeah.
And so that's the unfortunate reality.
That's what it's gone down to.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, even like 10 years ago, or 12 years ago, my savings account gave me 5%. And now it's like 0.4%.
Dude, exactly.
Something like that. Pretty crazy. Same bank too.
And look, I'm not blowing myself. Crypto corners are just taking the information, you know, and there's a lot of it. And even people who come into Crypto Corner, they might even make their own moves. And I'm fine with that. I just want them to learn about the space. But I'm telling you, man, like the amount of people who my DMs are just golden. My DMs are beautiful. And I'm just so glad that people are winning for themselves.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I want people to win for themselves. I want people to kill it. I want people to really realize that they can change their lives, because it's stuff that I didn't even know in my 20s that my mind has been open to, because I've been so fortunate to get into this space early and stick with it and to really get passionate about it. I'm glad that it's my passion, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't care about it as much, but it's my passion. And I can see the good and the bad, like a lot of people who just dismiss it. Can't.
Yeah. Well, anyway, congratulations, Marcus.
Seriously,
that's really
good job.
cool. And that's just from the start of this year.
Oh, bro.
So
That's so good.
in April, and wasn't even the start of the year. It was in second quarter of the year already at 98% returns.
Well,
Incredible.
I don't know if this is okay to say, and I'll take it back if I need to, but there's somebody who works on the show who actually recently got a pretty sick come up, and I didn't even know how much they came up, and I was like, that's good job.
That's awesome.
Good job.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another update too. Okay, this one's titled "Slept with 12 People Update."
Whoa.
I'm not sure if I remember the slept with 12 people thing, but I'm very curious to get the update. So here we go. Hey guys, it's been a while, and I just wanted to say I love being part of the Patreon and crypto community. You guys are amazing. Awesome. And another person. Awesome. I was the guy. Oh, by the way, you could go Crypto Corner is through our Patreon. So it's patreon.com/sticky, STIKKI. There's a lot of other things that we do there. We do live streams every month. We do early releases on Shit They Don't Tell You episodes. We do bonus Shit They Don't Tell You episodes. We do discounts on things. You get day early to jewelry releases. There's a lot of perks, but then you get the Crypto Corner is
and me
on
and
any tier.
I do like a 2-hour show a week at least, minimally, sometimes 3, and we go deep. We get to go deep. Unfortunately, on JK, I don't really get to go deep on crypto stuff because there's so many voices in the room. But on this is just get to launch.
And here we've done the basics of crypto, but
Yes.
but you actually take the time to go through people's personal questions on the live stream.
I do. That's why it took me 3 hours the other night.
Yeah,
but I love it. I enjoy it so much.
It's for all
It's
tiers.
beautiful. Yeah.
So not you don't have to
Nope.
break the bank doing it to go to Crypto Corner. Anyway, okay, so let's get this juicy update.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, our relationship has been good, and I was able to pretty much move on from prior stuff. I still think about it at blue moon, once in a blue moon, but it doesn't hurt like it used to. I've been really happy with her except for the past 2 months. My girlfriend has been trying different antidepressant medications, as well as in the process of being checked for borderline personality disorder. She's been very distant with me at first. She wouldn't respond to any of my messages for days and wouldn't want to hang out. She doesn't want to she doesn't want to hang out with me because she says she doesn't have the energy for me. I haven't seen her in weeks until 2 weeks ago when we had a small fight about a misunderstanding. She would not talk to me about it, and she would ignore my feelings and thoughts on the matter since she was over it and didn't want to talk about it, which made me full of anxiety. Oh, that's not good. Wow. We met up in person and talked about how she's not communicating with me and has been really hurting my feelings that she wouldn't even hang out with me. Makes me really jealous that she hangs out with other people but can't even get lunch with me. Oh, I told her I wanted communication from her. Fast forward last week, I found out she was hanging out with a group of people that I've never met, and she was super drunk and spending the night. I freaked out because I've never heard of these people before, and it was her first time with them since she met them while taking their blood for work. I told her how I felt and confessed this was not her first time with them. Oh, she confessed that this was not her first time with them and that she didn't want to tell me because I don't like her hanging out with people who get drunk and do drugs and didn't want me to be mad. There are a lot of her friends that I've never met for this reason, while she met every single one of my friends. I was super worried for her safety, and she completely ignored me and stopped responding. I was a mess. She threatened to break up with me if I kept talking to her, so I stopped. What? Break up with me? Okay. I just wanted her to be safe and to take it easy on the drink, which she said she couldn't. I was crying and pacing in my room, worried as hell for her, and was crying because she lied to me about not wanting to hang out with anyone, or the fact that she would lie and keep people a secret, which made me feel really weird. And it's been a week since then, and I'm so hurt over the fact she lied to me. I lost so much trust in her, and I can't stop thinking about things that could have happened when she spent the night and stuff. I don't trust guys, especially when they're around her drunk due to the past experience that she had. I'm worried about bad things. For the past 2 months, I feel like I don't even know my girlfriend, and I've had thoughts about breaking up. I really like her, but this is the second time she hurt me. First being the sleeping with the guy thing. What should I do? Should I go on a break? I'm worried I'll never gain that trust again, since trust is a big thing for me, and I will always think about it. It's hard because I like her, which sucks the most. What sucks the most about the situation is that it happened the night before our 1-year Halloween, which completely ruined it. She apologized 3 days after the moment, but I feel so weird and confused about her. Should we break up? Take a break? What do I do? I don't think I could hit the breakup button faster.
Yeah, I really want to smash that pretty hard, Mark.
Can we smash that breakup button?
Yeah.
Just like really just get it in there.
Give it good luck.
Because that...
Mark, sit on it.
That is not... That is a very unhealthy
she apologized
relationship.
3 days later. She threw me a bone. She's like, yeah, maybe I was wrong. Look, and don't use safety, use communication, because safety can be kind of a misnomer here, where a lot of people go like, I was worried about your safety. Like, come on, you're worried about the fact that you got lied to, and that's what you're saying in your email, and that's fine.
It's justified.
And it's justified. So you're already good there. You don't have to do the thing where you're like, well, I'm just worried. I just want you to be safe. That puts too much power in their court, and you don't even need to do that because that's not really what you're talking about.
Yeah, because they're like, I was safe.
I was safe. What the fuck are you talking about?
So I can do it again.
Don't be a weirdo. Whereas you're like, no, you need to communicate to me like what the hell is going on if you're doing like stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
need communication and you need to feel comfortable.
Yep.
And she's clearly just like poo-pooing on what makes you feel comfortable. And also, you shouldn't have things that you're hiding from your partner. If you're already at that point where you're like, well, I hid it from them because I didn't want them to be mad, then that's not the right partner for you. So she feels maybe she wants more freedom. I don't know, but she's just not meant to be with you because you guys are on different pages of what makes each other comfortable. And if she wants to go out and be a free bird and sleep at people's houses and not hang out with you, that's the other thing, is that she's doing this behind your back, not spending time with you, and yet carving out time for other people who you've never met before. That's totally valid.
Get the hell out of here, dude. You like her. That's nice. She doesn't like you.
There are other people you're going to like.
Yeah, you'll be
and that are going to treat you how you would like to be treated.
She likes you 3 days later. How about that?
She likes you. She 3 days later does damage control because she's like, well, I need to keep my backup plan.
Damn right.
It's like she wants her cake and eat it too.
She has so much freedom that she can do whatever the hell she wants,
and she knows that she can walk on you.
Yeah, come on.
So I'm sorry to be so blunt about it, because I know it's probably hard, and I know it's easier said than done, and I'm an outsider, but like, dude, you got to get out. Like, you just gotta no.
Don't let her eat you alive. That's not acceptable. You're being eaten alive.
At least put your foot down and be like, this is unacceptable. I don't want to be with you if this is how it is. And how can she break up? How can she threaten to break up with you over something that she did? You see that this is how manipulation works. Yeah. Like, she's making you feel like you're in the wrong for feeling uncomfortable because she lied to you. Yeah. That's not something, that's not invalid. That's a very normal response to feel upset and and hurt that your partner hid something and lied to you. So don't feel crazy. This isn't.
Listen,
This isn't. You guys either shouldn't be together at all, or maybe it's just not the right time because she's on medication or whatever excuse you want to give her. But personally, I wouldn't give her any more rope. I would just say, sorry, not the right person for me.
being with the person is a long time. You understand? If you want to like really go the long haul with somebody,
Yeah.
it's a long time.
Yeah.
You already got these kinds of things, and if you don't like, if she's not coming to you trying to get on the same page,
Yeah.
you're in trouble already.
No, you want someone that is as scared to lose you as you are of losing them.
Damn right.
None of this.
Couldn't put it better.
3 days.
No.
3 days.
What the fuck?
She doesn't care about you.
So 72
at
hours
all.
of you being eaten alive by your own soul. You know what I'm talking about. And then she comes to you and
she
throws you a
knows
bone.
that
Yeah,
you're
exactly. Come on.
suffering. That's such bullshit.
so
I'm sorry
unfair.
that you're going through that.
Yeah, we both are.
Yeah, break up for sure.
For sure.
And let us know how that goes. Please send us a message letting us know that you broke up with her. But
Just send us this audio if you want.
I think there's you're kind of going through the sunken cost thing too, because you guys worked through this other big issue, and you built up all this trust, and so it's like the cost of your feelings and how much you've invested into this, you don't want to break up and go find someone else all
Nikki's
over again.
referring, of course, to the sunken cost fallacy, where you have invested so much time into someone that
And
you do not
energy.
want to look back and go, I wasted all that time. I should just try to make this work now.
You didn't waste it. You learned what you don't want.
Yeah.
And that is someone that is going to hide things from you and lie about it. That's just unacceptable.
And they prove it to you.
Even in open relationships, they're not hiding it from each other.
That's what the
They
open
they
part
talk
is.
at the open. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So clearly there are trust issues and they're warranted. And if it were me, I would have dumped her yesterday. But I understand you have to go through these things. I mean, honestly, I had a boyfriend like this and it was really, really hard because he would say all these really nice things and I would think that we're on the same page. And then he would do shit like this. And then I'd be like, am I fucking crazy? Because I would never do that to somebody that I felt that way about, that I gave those big speeches to. But they're just disrespecting you. It's disrespectful.
And not to brag, me and Nikki are in an open relationship. We're very open with each other.
You're welcome to come in
And
get advice from us on your relationship.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're just so open with each other. We're like, what's an open relationship?
An open relationship. Oh, honey, no.
How could it not be an open relationship? Like, I don't want to be in a closed relationship. How about that?
Well,
I want to be as open as I can to you. And so, yeah, of course I'm in an open relationship.
I think you're misinterpreting here a little bit. It's an open relationship.
That's what it means.
No, baby.
So
Do you?
I'm proud to be an open. Hey, my name's Steve Green. I'm proud to be an open relationship.
Okay, so if I go fornicate with the boy next door, you're okay with that?
Excuse me?
I don't want to, but would you be okay with that?
No. What are you talking about?
Because that's what an open relationship is.
What?
Boo-boo.
The fact that you came to me and you told me that? Wow.
Yeah?
That's
You
an
like
open
that?
relationship.
Well, let me text him.
She told me she's texting him? That's an open relationship.
That is, if we were in an open relationship, there's certain rules that you would do, but I mean, that's not. Don't laugh. People have this.
No,
like,
I'm.
Yeah.
No, I'm laughing.
Yeah.
All right.
You're laughing because
Because it's a bit.
a bit, yeah.
All right.
But I did want to say, like, if you're in an open relationship, usually like you still have those rules with each other. You can't just. It's not a free for all. It's not like going and hiding things behind people's backs.
No.
Guy. So there's no excuses. She's not respecting you, and that's mean.
Boom.
It's hurtful. And you don't want a partner that hurts you and then doesn't care about it. Doesn't care about hurting you. You're gonna hurt each other no matter what, but like at least like they should care and want to fix it and mend things.
Damn right.
It's fucked up. Anyway, we're gonna go on a break. Buy whatever we tell you to buy.
Wait, we're going on a break?
We're
Oh
going
my
on.
God.
Not you and me, baby.
Oh my God.
No, just the show. We're pausing.
Oh, okay.
We're
Holy
pausing.
shit. My
No.
heart fucking sinking all the way into my chest.
No, I canceled the
Holy
neighbor guy.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
And I let you know about it.
Thank you, baby. Oh my God. All right. We'll be right back.
And shout out to our sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a counseling service that you can use where they have licensed professionals in so many different fields. A lot of times on the show, we highly, highly, highly recommend that anyone going through any sort of depression or relationship issues or dealing with some sort of crisis or something going in your life that, we all go through stuff that's just overwhelming, to go see a professional. But oftentimes it's really expensive, and maybe
intimidating.
You think, it's intimidating. Maybe you don't know where to start to go find a professional in that area. Or if there's something preventing you from achieving your goals, well, you can go to check out betterhelp.com/Steve.
That's the best part.
We didn't pick the / okay?
I picked it.
It's because who needs the help more is Steve, and
No.
That's why.
When you need help, you just got one name to think about.
Yeah.
/Steve.
Steve.
So there you go.
And all the counselors are Steve.
And look, they will assess your needs and match you to your own licensed professional therapist.
It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is professional counseling done securely online. You can send a message to your counselor anytime. You don't have to wait for your appointment, but you do have an appointment time, and then it's usually a video call or a phone call, and you see your counselor. You get to feel them out. If you don't like who you're paired with, don't worry about it. You won't hurt their feelings. You can just find another one. It makes it really, really easy for you to discard and find another one. I know that sometimes it sucks
it's
when
awkward,
you did do all the stuff to go find a therapist, and then you don't click with them, but you're trying to make it work because it's you don't know where else to go.
Well, that got really personal.
Well, with BetterHelp, you just pick another one on the list, and you'll find someone that is a match for you.
Also, everything you share there is confidential.
Yes. They have different professionals for depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma, anger, family conflicts, all sorts of stuff. So I want you to start living a happier life today, okay? As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/Steve.
Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Steve. Because when you need help, there's only one name to call, and that's BetterHelp. And then it's also /Steve.
Wanted to give a shout out to our sponsor today, Truebill. Okay, I was literally just thinking if there was an app like this the other day, because I have so many subscriptions, and one just renewed itself, and I didn't realize that I was still subscribed to it, and it was like $100 subscription. So what Truebill does is they put all of your subscriptions all in one place, and you can cancel them anytime you want to, where you just click of a button, you can see where they all are. There's a concierge, and you can actually manage all of the subscriptions that you probably forgot that you had.
Dude, so when I first moved to LA, I lived in this apartment complex, and they made me buy insurance, and the insurance got auto paid every month, and I never thought about it. Well, 2.5 years later, after I moved out of it, I realized I was getting this recurring charge for $26 a month. And I was like, what the hell is this thing?
Oh my
God.
God.
I called them, and I was like, yo, you guys, I paid you guys $2,500 in insurance for this place. I don't live there anymore. And they're like, tough. And I'm like, can you guys just refund me? I didn't do anything. And they're like, you can take us to small claims court.
Wow.
It's part of their business model.
Yeah, it really is. It's a scam.
So yeah, no, look, I've been waiting for a service like this. Truebill, they
could save you hundreds of dollars. If your ex is still using your Netflix, people
oh yeah.
You give your Netflix password to, and then you're not friends with them anymore, you broke up with them.
True.
And then they're still watching your Netflix.
Oh, and gym memberships, dude. If you want to cancel a gym membership, we went through this recently. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. You have to email all kinds of shit. But don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/STDTY. Go right now to truebill.com/STDTY. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/STDTY. All right, we are back, and we have more of your questions, and we hope to answer them to the best of our knowledge.
God, do we hope
But sometimes our knowledge is not that deep.
It's not adequate.
But we are still going to try to answer them to the best of our knowledge. Also, the lighting is different now, and it's way better.
It's way better.
Because I realized
we solved it.
Steve messed it up.
No, I didn't.
He messed it up.
I set this whole thing up.
And I fixed it. So, here we go. Next question is called Relationship Q, your first year. Ooh, that was a long time ago for us. Dude, we're
8 years ago?
Old. You're old. All right.
You're old.
Hi, Nikki and Steve. I am not, but I can run for president now. I love the podcast and your vibe as a couple. What always fascinates me about your relationship are the anecdotes you've told about that first year when you two were, quote unquote, always fighting. Could you elaborate and give a more detailed timeline of how this went? I'm currently missing my boyfriend who moved a few hours away for law school, and I would love to hear about the power of believing in that deeper connection to a possible soulmate. We've been together since March, and our major fights have been the result of a strain of an impending move, of the distance, so we can't be as spontaneous, and now of law school becoming his whole world. Everyone has told him to let go of anything that distracts him from school, while everyone has told me to be patient and put my feelings on the back burner. I don't know what our relationship is supposed to look like, especially when he wants to be fully immersed in his study. I don't want him to feel like he has to put us on pause or break up because of his large workload and his professors putting pressure on him and the other students to minimize every aspect of their lives in pursuit of this degree. I haven't been dealing well with missing him so much. Ideally, we would talk every day and be able to forget the rest of the world for that moment. We love each other, but he's feeling like I don't think his efforts to put aside a little time are good enough since he can't plan around his growing workload. We both know that the circumstances don't leave room for balance and that it won't be good enough because we'll always wish we had more time. It's hard to focus on my own goals when my heart aches and I feel crazy for believing something greater for us when all he can see are the assignments and readings due the next day. What forces kept you two together when you were going through the hard stuff? Did you ever take periods of time off to give each other space? Did you ever have that infamous runner-chaser dynamic, twin flame trope, if you're into that stuff? And did the fear of the other person possibly letting go or running away affect your decision-making in the relationship? Appreciate you both. Heart emoji. Needy and unfortunately in love.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah.
I think that you're in love and he's not.
Yeah. Well,
because I look, and I'll just hit you with just what I think, and I don't necessarily know everything about your situation, but even when I was mad at Nikki, like during our stupid fucking fights, I loved this chick, and I loved her since date one, and it was really abnormal and strange, and it actually like almost drove me crazy because I was almost mad at her because I thought I was gonna get to fuck a bunch of chicks. And then I didn't get to. And like,
yeah, he didn't get a hoe face.
And honestly, there were some chicks who were throwing themselves at me, and I was like, "This is gonna be sick." And then I had one date with this chick, and I'm such a loyal motherfucker.
I had to snatch him.
And we had such a mind blowing first date that for me, I was just done after that, and I was just like, "All right, I don't even know what to do here. I literally am like, it's like I'm at an auction. I'm like sold. Like it was just over."
I already cast the spell. 3 months earlier, I wrote it in my journal.
So yeah, even the moments, right? So let's skip ahead, right?
Yes.
Let's go to the moments where like, me are not getting along. It was all about bullshit from my past. It had nothing to do with this chick.
And luckily, it's kind of fortunate that we both knew each other's exes. And so we knew the dynamic that each of us had in the other relationship. And we're able to separate where it was projection and where it was actually a problem with our personal relationship.
And so importantly, we were able to teach each other about each other, right? I teach you about me, you teach me about you.
And both were willing to understand that.
And we're both just as obsessed with each other, which I think you're missing. And
I need both parties to really want it.
Yeah, and I don't know that, he's not being genuine here. I don't know.
No, he's not being ungenuine because this dude, my cousin's a lawyer and she was dating a partner of a law firm, and so like and my uncle's a lawyer. Like I have a lot of lawyers in my family, and it's no joke. Like that is extremely stressful. And it's true what he's saying that you probably shouldn't be in a relationship during that time. And just knowing myself, the way that I operate, if I'm like really anxious about getting something done and like needing to get it done, like, and that's the first priority, it's really hard to, like, if he has needs or something like that, like I'm too stressed out. But so with him, he knows my workload and it's not an unbearable amount of time that I'm just like, mine are just really quick, but I just need to get a lot done in like a short amount of time. And like, I think if it was vice versa, if Steve had way too much to do and it was a long distance relationship, I don't think I could do it personally because that's different than fighting a lot.
Thank you.
Fighting a lot, you're at least there with each other working it out. Yeah. But long distance, my love language is quality time
exactly.
and acts of service. Those are the top two. And so both of those needs are not being met. I would not feel loved, even if it's not his fault. Yeah. Even if he has this crazy workload, and even if I could understand it logically, I just wouldn't feel loved. And then I'm supposed to wait 4 years on the chance that he comes around after and like realizes he's still in love with me and we still have the same feelings. I mean, that's a long time to like to wait just in case. You know?
Yeah, listen, if you want to lock it down with the chick and you want to let her know that like she's number one, you got to make her feel like she's number one. And look, yeah, life gets in the way. It does all the time. But even during me and Nikki's, like our weirdest times, she knew that I saw her as number one, and I knew that she saw me as number one.
Yeah, and
Always.
I don't necessarily think that your boyfriend is not putting you as number one.
Same, I think
that he's setting aside time for you, but it's just not going to be enough. And his schoolwork is really important right now, and it is very time consuming. And so I guess it's just a matter of whether you will still feel loved by that, because it might build resentment for you. And for me, when we were fighting, every time I started to build resentment, there were a few times I remember in the beginning where I was like, I'm detaching because I'm starting to resent you.
You told me that.
And I told him that. And I think everyone should, because it gives him the opportunity to fix it, or to be like, fuck
Prioritize
you.
No.
I'm leaving. And then we're not, then we don't have to deal with this. So yeah, and he chose he was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. And so he worked on it, and then I didn't feel that resentment went away. Like it didn't even get a chance to bloom, because
it was the last thing I ever wanted,
and
I didn't know. And I was spending too much time away from her writing. And frankly, for me, I was securing our future is how I felt. But I didn't understand that was having a detriment to you. And so
it wasn't even about the time. It was about how I felt like he would make promises to me, and then I would wait up all night for him, and then he wouldn't be there, and then he'd come home at 6 a.m, and he didn't even remember that he promised me. It was like it meant nothing. That's what we were having fights about, was that it wasn't even the time spent away, because it's not like we lived together. We moved in together really fast. So we lived together. It wasn't like, oh my God, I'm not going to see him. But it was that he would say he carved out this time for me, and that he'd be home for sure at 9 p.m. at the latest, or 10 p.m. And then not only can I not get a hold of him, but he just doesn't show up. And then he comes in at 5 or 6 in the morning. And it was very frustrating, and I was resenting him because I was building up excitement because I wanted to spend time with him, and when we finally we set the date, and then he didn't show up, and then it was like it didn't even mean that much to him, and so I felt like I didn't mean that much to him.
Yeah, and what she didn't understand, I had to sit her down and help her understand, was that I was being the designated driver for my friend who needed to go to strip clubs.
Shut the fuck up. You're so stupid. I never once thought it was
when you say 6 a.m., but it really was.
No, they would write for
it was forever.
I know because I know by the amount of pages you got done that there's no way you could have gotten that done if you hadn't. But it was more about the principle of making the promise.
Of course.
And so, when we get to the root of that, and then we work it out. It's like, if you don't know what time you're coming home, just say that. Just say, I don't know. We could be out till 5 a.m. Don't say I'll be home at 9. And then,
and I found out later, I think I realized later really, is that I was still resenting some bullshit that had nothing to do with her. But it was really just a promise I made to myself, where I told her when we got together, I was like, hey, I'm putting comedy first. Comedy's my number one love. And just so you know.
And I was like, cool, I put my career first too.
No, exactly. But then for me, I was proving it when I was staying out late, and I was bullshit.
Yeah, no, it had, again, nothing to do with the staying out late. It was
of course.
Purely the promises.
I completely understand. Yeah. But that was, to me, my own way of showing you, even though, it's like stupid shit that I was doing just because I had gotten into a relationship with you so quickly, and I was so mad that I loved you so much. So, and then in my previous relationship, he would make a lot of promises and break them. And so it was triggering that for me. Exactly. Because I'm like, I'm not doing this again. Yep. So, communication is really key. And if you feel like maybe your love language isn't quality time, or, people do long distance relationships, but I don't think I could handle it. Same.
But
I can't.
But people do them. And maybe it's because they just don't need as much physical time together, and maybe they make it up by in other ways. I don't really. I'm so spoiled though, that because your presence is such a huge part of my life, that even a day without you when I'm at JK, I just miss you. Yeah. And I tell you
at breaks and stuff or lunch or whatever, and I text you. But
I know you're cute.
I love you. No, but but it feels good to be here now and on the other side of the fence. Where like I remember being on the other side of the fence on the reverse way and being like resenting you because I loved you. And I was like, I did not want this.
Yeah.
I just wanted to fucking, I thought you were cool.
Yeah.
Let's hang out. Your mind-blowing first date.
You wanted to hit and quit it. I get it.
No, not
You
even.
wanted to hit it and quit it.
Not even.
You wanted you wanted a cute little fuck buddy.
I wanted a hot little fuck buddy. No. It wasn't even that. I was just so bummed in a way that I had fallen for you. I almost felt weak.
Yeah, you were an eligible bachelor and then you just gave it up.
Exactly.
You just opened your legs like a whore.
It wasn't even that.
Like a common whore.
I had just gotten my heart broken.
Yeah.
And so I felt like I was just setting myself up again. I was like, here we go. Let's go again, baby.
Same.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. I was disappointed in myself and I felt like I was setting myself up for future ruin.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that I had somebody who liked me just as much. And that's the key, guys, to everything. Is look, I always describe it like this. And maybe it's been a while since I've done it, but to me, a great relationship, not just a good relationship, a great relationship is when you're both leaning on each other, and that's what keeps you up.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. And we've talked about this too, that we both thought that was impossible. So I think you actually asked about that. Was there like that chaser thing? No, but both of us thought it was going to be like where both of us have traditionally been the chasers in our relationship.
Always. The hopeless romantics.
Yeah. And like I kind of accepted the fact that I would always be
Same.
the one that puts them first and then maybe they don't prioritize me. That's how it works. Like some people, there's always one that's more romantic than the other one. And one's always like kind of like the one that loves more. And
on dark nights with exes, I remember them explaining to me that they weren't that as into me as I was into them, and me just explaining.
They actually said that
in a roundabout way. But I remember explaining to them that I was going to work even harder because you know how I am. If you slight me or if whatever, I will fucking win. But like, it wasn't productive for me relationship wise. That's a great thing to do towards other things that you can be productive with. But with relationships, it's a fucking horrible thing.
To like, if someone's like, I'm not that interested, and you're like, I'm going to make you be interested.
Bro, yeah, you can't force it.
Yeah.
But the will to win is like the tip of my tongue at all times. And so it doesn't work in relationships that way. It has to be both. Or
that's why I have, it's just a joke that I cast a spell because you can't cast love spells.
No. Yeah. Apparently you can't, but she says that she cast a bunch when we first got together, but
no, baby.
Okay.
I put I did the menstrual blood thing. That's spaghetti.
Okay. Oh, that doesn't work. I heard.
Ew, I can't believe that's a thing. That's so gross to me.
Really funny.
I can't even imagine. I'm grossed out by my own stuff. I can't even imagine that people have tried that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about, guys?
I do.
I don't know if we've mentioned it on the show before, but there is a thing where like people, I think we did talk about it in an episode. People say that if the guy tastes your period blood, that he'll never get over you. Like he can break up with you, but he'll never get over you. And I just think, I mean, I guess some guys you could eat out during that time, but that's, I don't know.
They probably take it to
But then there was girls knowing this where they put it in like their man's spaghetti or like some shit. Ugh. That's like gotta be some kind of violation of human rights. It's gotta be some sort of like,
it's against the UN code.
That's gotta be something messed up.
It's a war crime.
Yeah. Well, because that one guy that jerked off into McDonald's food or whatever.
Which guy? There's so many. And Taco Bell and Wendy's.
Yeah, like they got in trouble. Like it's illegal.
Allegedly.
You can't make people eat your bodily fluids knowingly.
No.
Well, that guy had like some sort of STD or something, and he got people infected. Anyhow, I hope that it works out for you. I think this is a little bit apples to oranges because your situation is not exactly like our situation was. Yes, we were fighting a lot, but also it wasn't.
We were just as interested in keeping each other.
And mine wasn't about like him not having time for me. It was like he had time, and then he would just like make promises and not keep them, and then it would make me get naggy at other things that weren't necessarily a problem because I was just getting so annoyed by
and I think that I was in a really immature prove it mode.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, you really like me? Prove it. You know what I mean? Like, and I think it was really immature and stupid as fuck. But like I was super immature. I was like 24? when we got together? 25?
No.
Oh, I was 26. I was 26.
26 or 7.
I was 35.
I was 26, so you must have been 27.
Yeah, I was 27.
Yeah, you were 35. It was last year.
I was 37.
You were just
I'm what I will be
a
next
wee
year.
37. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it really was like we grew with each other. But that's the key, man. If you want to win at relationships, you grow with each other.
Yeah.
Like Nikki and I have grown together. Like Nikki and I check in with each other. Slow down. Check in with each other so much that it's like I love it.
Like, honestly, I could just look at him from across the room and he knows what I'm thinking.
Yes. Same.
Based on what's going on around us. Like, he knows exactly what I'm thinking.
Every time. And then
Yeah.
we always can't wait to check in with each other. Which is what makes experiencing life so fun for us. Because I can't wait to experience life with her. I can't wait to move to Vegas with her. I'm the most excited to move to Vegas with her.
Me too.
Because I can't wait to just see what the fuck's going to happen.
Yeah. Like, it's a whole new experience.
Chapter. Yeah.
Like an adventure.
And we get to check in with each other on the whole time. And
yeah.
You got to marry your best friend.
You really do.
It makes everything so much more fun.
I know it's cliche and like you can't force a best friendship either. Like you can't be like, yeah, I am marrying my best friend and he's totally my best friend, but he never wants to hang out with me. It's weird.
No, hang with Nikki's my number one hang.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
true.
And I've okay, here's another little faux pas that I know this is a Q&A, but I really do want people to understand a couple things.
Yeah.
Key being, I've had friends who can't really hang out with each other unless they're hanging out with other couples.
Oh yeah.
And they don't it's because they're on their best behavior if they're with other couples.
Yeah.
And you guys know what I'm talking about. See, as soon as you heard that, you're like, I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, they don't fight. They have stuff to talk about. Like, because when they're at home, either it's quiet and they don't have anything to talk about,
or it's ballistic,
or it's crazy. Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
Yes. But so then when you guys are on your best behavior and you have somebody over, you have a couple over.
Yeah.
Then you guys are like able to be chill, and it's almost like it's better that way. And guys, if you're doing that, you're in a horrible relationship.
Yeah, it's terrible. I can't imagine. That's what made me break up with really long time boyfriend because I was like, dang, how come I like hanging out with other people like more than being alone?
Shouldn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's why, I mean, every relationship's a learning experience. So I think if you can realize either A, that this is not for you, you can't do long distance, then at least you learn something from this. Or B, that you can make it work because you'll find another way to feel loved. Like maybe your love language is gifts. And every time he visits you, he gives you a gift.
Yes.
And he's thinking of you and it makes you feel loved.
That works.
Maybe that works for you guys.
If you love it,
but
that works.
Whatever you do, realize that's your learning experience that you were supposed to take from this relationship.
Yes. But if you're in your four walls with your person and you guys are not able to make it work unless you add people, ooh, it's time to reassess.
It's a long journey ahead.
Yeah.
You're in for a ride of like, should we get married to try to fix it?
Oh,
should we
exactly.
have a baby to try to fix it?
A baby will fix it.
Should we buy a house to try to fix it? Or something, whatever. Like sometimes
or all of the above.
Those relationships, they're like, maybe if we have a big experience together, then it'll magically fix this relationship. And that's just not how it works.
That's called sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
Yeah. Which we just described.
Yeah.
It's like, man, we spent so much time. Let's just see what happens next.
If we add this to the mix.
Let's roll a baby dice.
If we add this very stressful thing that will make us not be able to break up even more to the mix.
And hey, or even Crypto Corner, my chick Jen, she says like not getting a prenup was one of the worst things she ever did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because she's like, you know what? Like it bonded us too much financially and not necessarily everything else. And she's only dealing with the ramifications of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Thankfully, she's killing it. But yeah. But it does suck.
Or not thankfully because there's no prenup.
Yeah.
Sure. So she's killing it and then she still has to split it.
For sure.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. This one's called reflecting and admitting sometimes being the problem. Ooh, I like that. A little bit of self-reflection. Okay. Hi, Nikki and Steve. I first found Nikki's YouTube channel when I was planning my own wedding around the same time as her, and her approach to wedding planning felt exactly how I did at the time and not having a clue how it works. Oh my God. Yeah.
So
it's such a different world. I can't believe like people are indoctrinated into that world from a young age. I was never aware of it. Anyway, I've loved watching your marriage bloom since then, and lucky for me, but less interesting for this question/email, mine has as well, and we are very happy together. Oh, congrats. That's awesome. One of my favorite parts of the questions are when you reflect on past experiences in your own relationships, and typically they revolve around the toxic/challenging/frustrating things your partners did at the time. But I wondered if you could both answer the things that you did in your past relationships that on reflection you feel were toxic/negative that you have now matured from, and now how you notice this behavior being a problem/how you fixed it. Oh, you already touched on one of them. Yeah. Okay, from past relationships. Okay, so I had trust issues with my ex-boyfriend. I talked about it a lot, and we just talked about that with the trust issue question. The thing that I think I did wrong was, instead of acknowledging that he's hiding things from me, he's lying, he's been caught multiple times, I liked him so much, I wanted to make it work. But every time I got the inkling that maybe he was lying about something, I would go through his phone, and I would wait until like 3 a.m. when he was dead asleep. Right. I would listen to him snoring, and then I would get up and I would go through his phone. And that's just wrong. No, you shouldn't do it. And I would find shit. He was lying. He'd be talking to other girls. He'd be like hiding things behind my back, and then I just have to stew with it. I'm just stewing until he wakes up in the morning. I'm just so mad, and because I know things now, and I just shouldn't, if it gets to the point where you feel the need to look through someone's phone or spy on them in any way, break into their computer, their emails or whatever, then you shouldn't be with that person, sure. And especially if you've had conversations with them and you still don't trust them. So I feel like that's something that I always vowed after that relationship. If I ever felt that need to do that again, because that was the second relationship in a row. And I was like, maybe the problem is me. I'm attracting a certain type of guy that lies about stuff, and they had very similar, traits in common, negative traits in common. Yeah. And these are red flags. And so if any of those red flags come up, the second I see them, it's donezo. We're not going to get into that toxic, I'm going to catch you thing. Yeah. I don't want to catch you. If you want to be in this relationship, then you want to be in this relationship. If not, then get the fuck out. we don't need to be together. Yeah.
And for me, genuinely, the stupidest thing I ever did was I moved to LA with my ex at the time, and then my buddy Jason Horton. And the stupidest thing I did was she tried out for Comedy Sports, which is is what we're doing in San Diego. Yeah.
Short form improv,
right? But it has its own value, and up here, there's way more of an audience, and you make way more money. But we made money down there, but we make way more money up here. I never even tried out for it because I was I want to do long form improv because I was already indoctrinated into the UCB way of life. Yeah. And, Daniel Schneider came down to San Diego, and she taught me about some improv stuff, long form, and she told me hey, you did really good, you had a breakthrough, you're really good or whatever. And I was I'm just gonna ride that. Yeah. But then my ex got into Comedy Sports, and she got into the main troupe, and I was that's hack. We left that. Let's do the next thing. Let's do long form improv. Let's do the Harold. Let's do Del Close shit. And I think I was just being a hater because I was jealous. Yeah. Because I didn't want to do it anymore. The short form improv thing. I'd done it for a long time. But I was probably just jealous too because she had a night of the week where she got to go do that. Yeah. And that thing that I probably missed. Yeah. Actually, I definitely missed it. But instead of just encouraging her and telling her good job, babe, or whatever, I just hated on it the whole time. And I was we moved up here to be more advanced on improv. And it's so stupid. Nobody cares about improv anyway. Literally 15,000 people care.
That's good of you to acknowledge.
Oh yeah. No, I do. But it was total envy. And also too, I could have just tried out too. I didn't. Yeah. I could have done it, but I didn't. I thought I had figured something out that I hadn't, and all that kind of bullshit.
Yeah, you thought you were better than it.
Yeah. But not even, because so much of what I do these days is so helped by short form.
For sure. You just didn't want to admit it because it would mean she had a leg up on you, even though you didn't even try. Yeah. Yeah. Even though it's imaginary, it's in your own head. Yeah. Right.
But, and I'd convinced myself that it was hack, and, it's all the stupid shit that people do, but it was not encouraging, and it was embarrassing. When I look back on it, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
The fact that I sat there with her and I was like, oh, I can't believe you got in this troop, and like, ugh.
I had a moment like that with you. I don't know if you remember, but it's embarrassing to think about. I was embarrassed at the time, even.
For yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I had done stand up for a long time, and Steve is more of an improv person. Like, he did improv for a long time, and I would never say that I knew more about improv, or like I'm a improviser. Exactly. And then he, didn't really do stand up. So like I was very comfortable doing stand up. I was like, I felt in my element. I was just very, not only comfortable, but like it fueled me. I fucking loved doing stand up. And I had to give up. I was doing stand up, acting, and YouTube, and not really making headway in any of them. And I was like, all the people that I know that have been making headway after all these years have picked one and just gone for it. So I reluctantly, I was really hard to choose, but I'll go with YouTube because I can do comedy still in sketches on YouTube, and I can also act in sketches on YouTube. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds merged. Yeah. But I always thought like I'd get back into stand-up. So then when we get together, within like the first year, and like Steve is like getting all these gigs and stuff, and like he's like
Kevin Hart movie.
He's like killing it, yeah, and he's getting all these gigs, and that's fine, and I was very encouraging with that stuff.
Actually.
But then he gets offered a spot at the Just for Laughs festival in Montreal, and he gets like a 10-minute set, and that's like the mecca for stand-up comedy. It's like where
especially since we came up,
the greats go,
the mid 2000s, the late 2000s.
That was it. And it was like that was like one of my like bucket list like goal items, and I got so mad and jealous, and I knew not to get mad at him, but I just couldn't hold it. Like I was,
you're mad at the system.
I just felt like it was unfair. That like he didn't do stand up, and he got offered like this huge thing with stand up, and like I was just, it would be like if I got offered a spot on like an improv troupe at the Del Close Marathon that was like one of the big some crazy thing. And so I was so fucking bitter, like, and I didn't want to bring it up. Like, you could tell I was mad, but I didn't want to say why, but because I didn't ever want to feel like we were competing against each other.
No.
But I was like so fucking mad about it. And then I finally said it, and by the time I said it, my emotions were like up here, and so it kind of exploded out. And even though I tried not to take it out on him, like he got the brunt of it. And then he was like, dude, I talked to them about getting you a spot too, and she's gonna call you tomorrow about it. And I'm like, fuck, I'm such an asshole. I'm like such an asshole. Yeah. And then the next day, sure enough, they offered me a spot too.
And I even told him, I said, you'd be idiots not to have her.
I felt like such a fucking asshole.
Oh no.
I still like cry thinking about that.
Okay. I had your back the whole time.
Yeah, like you had my back the whole time. And that's why I felt like an asshole, because my exes didn't. And it did feel like a competition, like where they felt jealous of me a lot of times, like, and so I didn't want that to ever happen between us, and then for me to be the asshole that was like that, and then you had my back the whole time. I just felt like such a dick.
Oh no, you're fine.
I was like, that was really embarrassing.
It's part of the bullshit of our whole industry, frankly, because like I was getting a lot of heat at the time in the town because like I was being funny on the tubes or whatever, and people were like, man, he's doing some different shit or whatever was being said. Who cares? It's all bullshit. But so I was getting credit for that, and so credit for that means like more doors open, and then like UTA and all these guys were like saying like whatever you want, like, we can make it happen. And so then like I was like, oh dude, I could make this happen for Nikki easily, this way, and the same way that I did like when you wanted to. I was a little bit mean about this, but when like our first year together, she wanted so badly to go to the YouTube.
The comedy night.
The music awards.
Oh, the music awards.
Because Eminem was going to be there.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, hey, look, I'm going to the YouTube Music Awards. I managed to secure a ticket, but it's so exclusive. I can't get anybody else in. The whole time I'm working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And like I'm making sure that I can get Nikki in too, because I know Eminem's going to be there, and I know it's important to Nikki.
Yeah.
And so I actually had like my awesome maker people at the time, like Alicia Russo and like all these really, really great people. They helped hook that up for me, for us, which was, and they even said like, hey, our gift to you is like, you're taking, you know, you and Nikki are going to New York.
It was so awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Right? But like, but you know, thankfully because I had blown up recently on YouTube,
Yeah.
it just made all that so easy.
Well, it felt like, I mean, I never had a problem like supporting that stuff because I love seeing you win. Like it was just a very like specific stand up that I had to give up to do YouTube because I didn't have the money to like do all of it because you know, it takes time, and then that's away from work, the things that are paying you. And so the fact that I had to step away and then you were just getting it handed to you, I felt like everything else I was like, yay Steve, but then that particular thing I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like and I just got mad. Yeah, and it was stupid. I think that was definitely like an embarrassing part. But there was also, when we first started dating, I do think it was kind of like a pride thing, you know, like yours was with your ex-girlfriend, where like you just want to prove yourself.
It's bullshit.
Because like there were just little comments people would make here and there where it felt like we weren't equal, even though when we were together I felt equal.
Same.
But other people, when they commented, it felt like they were separating us, and I just like would get really like a chip on the shoulder, like I had something to prove. And even your own family, I remember when I first met them, they made a comment where they were like, are you gonna be able to handle when he has a bunch of fans around him, but scream fans?
It's
like
just my mom being
I
nice.
was like,
my mom's just
I'm just like
I remember
just
that
some
one.
peasant over
I remember
here.
that one.
I
remember that one.
I was so
She would never, by the way,
I was just
knowingly do that. She was just being funny. Like she's a ball buster a little bit like you, which is why I like you.
Yeah.
Frankly, that's why I like women who.
But it was like our first time meeting, so I was like,
for sure.
Are you calling me a nothing?
She's just a ball buster. Like that's how I was raised, is with ball busters, as you know now, because you're very much a green, and you understand how you bust balls nonstop.
Yeah, I love busting balls.
They give you nothing else. They just bust your balls.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a ball buster. It just felt like a proud mom.
Yeah.
And so it was like, my son is up here. Are you going to be able to handle like being down here? And I'm like,
no,
that's not how I feel about that.
And now, how do you feel?
And
about
not that I like, not that I even like, it wasn't even about having screaming fans or anything like that, but just that it was the separation that in other people's minds, you're up here and I'm down here or something. It just made me feel less than. Yeah. And it happened not like that one time. It happened like at different points in different meetings and stuff that we would take.
Respectfully, your father did the same thing to me, where I said, you know, he's like, hey, if you mess with her, you know, better watch out. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean, dude?
Like threatened. He was just being a dad.
No, he's being a piece of shit. Actually.
You would do the same thing.
He's being a piece of shit.
Shut the fuck up. You're so dumb. You guys love each other.
I love that
it's
man.
actually like, it's actually incredible. I've never seen him.
My favorite.
He has never loved any of my boyfriends ever. And they like full on go to Costco together, guys. Like they like sometimes I'm like, where's Steve and Dad? And they're just like shopping together.
No, my favorite recent memory with
throwing out
your old
together.
Man is that he surprised us. He dropped in on us on a weekend.
Yeah.
And then
and I was shooting Big Mood.
You're shooting Big Mood. Mm-hmm. And then me and the old man, we were just in my office, and I pulled up NFL Sunday Ticket, which I have on my computer anyway. And then me and him were just shooting the shit, drinking a beer on Sunday at 2 p.m, and it was great, and we were laughing our asses off. And the best thing was in the middle of it, Casey comes in, he's like, "Can you guys quiet down?"
Yeah.
But I love that man. So it was
you guys were having a good time.
For us to shoot the shit. Yeah. It was great.
I love that. I love that you guys have that relationship.
Oh, he's the best, dude. He's a great man too.
Yeah, and your mom's the best too. I never felt like she devalued me at all. She
would never. If she knew that you felt this way,
I know. That's why I didn't.
Now, she would fucking seppuku.
That's why I didn't want to say who the family member was. You
jerk.
No,
it's okay. She won't hear it.
But no,
she's not advanced enough technologically to find this.
We bonded. This was clearly a moment of her just being proud of her son. It was just. It wasn't even personal. I just had enough like little slights happen where it just built up
too much, and that was the tipping point.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works.
It is really
because our families are so supportive of us, man. I'm so lucky because, dude, the in-law story is real. Like when it comes to a lot of people, like I'm so lucky that I got into the Limo Snaros.
Yeah, same.
Those are the best people ever, man.
You know what else? I just remembered this. Sorry, guys. It's been so long since our first year because I was like, what? There was something else that like pushed me towards this feeling too. It was also that in your previous relationship, you guys were known as a couple, and you told me from the beginning, like, I just don't want to be known as a couple. And so it felt like you were purposely leaving me out of stuff. Sometimes, like, you were leaving me out of pictures, leaving me out
for
of
the first
like
6 months.
Like stuff like that. And so it felt like I had to prove something on my own, like almost like this feel of like, well, I need to have my own thing that you're jealous of then because I would do anything for you. I'd put you in anything, and you just are like, I need to not be a couple.
But you know what it was too?
Yeah.
For me, I used to have this stupid. I used to have to do this stupid ass show.
Yeah, I know.
I'll just say what it is.
Don't say it.
Okay. But what it was not my concoction.
Yes.
And I used to have to just improvise inside of it, and I hated it the whole time.
Yeah.
It was almost like how Bill Murray feels about Garfield, the movies, where he's just like, I don't know what I signed up for. I can't believe that I had to do this. And every time he talks about it, I'm like, that's how I felt about this.
Yeah.
And so when I did that show, I was like, man, I fucking hated that show.
And it was a show with your ex.
Yes.
Yeah.
With my ex.
That was her idea. Yeah.
Yes, her idea. And so then the whole time, like, I'm just like,
you were
fuck
just
this
stuck
show.
to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to disassociate myself so I could establish myself creatively enough to like, be able to just be like, okay, this is who I am actually. And then now I could move on.
Oh, yeah. And then I had this show. I was trying to think of YouTube formats that I could do without hiring actors and that wouldn't take a lot of crew and that I could do it at home. And it was really hard to come up with things. So I was like, well, I can do the YouTuber thing where you're doing a sketch with yourself if I make the writing really good. Like if I make it really quippy and like really back and forth and good. And I got a lot of compliments on this show that I came up with. But then Steve didn't think it was that funny. And so then I was like, well, you were on that show. That you want to talk about funny, bro? And then we got in fights about like little like tiffs about that because it kind of hurt my feelings that he was the one person that I respected in that light, and he didn't think my show was very funny.
Well, it wasn't even that actually.
Yeah,
it wasn't funny because I didn't think that wasn't funny. It was just too scripted to me.
It was
too writery.
Yeah, it was very writery. But I wanted it to be because it was kind of like what was going on, like at that time, like that Jake and Amir vibe, that kind of like back and forth that were like one character's very completely different than the other character, and they just have like little one-liners back and forth, basically.
And I don't agree with the way that I handled it then. Now, at all. I do think. I do understand why I thought that. Yeah. And I think you do too.
Oh, totally. But I just think the way that it was delivered was just like...
It was too harsh.
Yeah.
Too harsh.
Especially when I didn't have a lot going on at that time. Yeah. So it was like, it was just harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why, I mean, it's been a while since our first year. So all those... It's hard to answer questions like that when they're like, what did you guys fight about? Because I'm like, oh, what did we? It's so behind us because we did the arrow thing.
Yes.
And then it really just like went away. Because whenever I would try to think of what we used to fight about, I'm like, we had a toothpaste fight once. I can't remember. Like, I know we were screaming at each other in Germany.
Yeah. Bro.
Yeah.
Bart told me a joke recently, which was really funny. Really, really funny. He was like, yeah, why would I travel the world when I just have a fight in every country? And I was like, that's funny. That's a good joke, right?
Yeah.
But then I was like, I've been there.
Yeah.
Because that year that we traveled the world.
Yeah, in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in like
we fought in
two of the spots.
We had sex in every country, but we also fought in every country.
We did, but then the sex was really good.
The sex was really good. And the fights were really good.
Really good too.
Yeah.
Good fights were really
good fights.
Epic fights.
Were really great fights.
I remember you stormed out of a diner.
I did.
Yeah. And I had to catch up with you down the road after having paid in whatever the fuck currency.
I wanted to leave you in that country. I was like, I don't even want to see your face again.
And I was like, and I actually looked up how to book a flight out of there, and I was like,
yeah, it was like $3,000.
I was like, that's too expensive. I'll just try to work this out.
I did the same thing.
Thank God they're
and
so
also
expensive at the
in Europe, we were fighting, and your debit card got eaten by the machine.
Yes, it did.
So I was having to pay for everything.
That was in the UK.
Yeah.
But
So I was it was like one of the
was in the
earlier
earlier
countries.
stuff. Yeah.
And so I was having to pay for everything, and I barely even had any money.
Yes.
And so I was mad at you for that too, that you were being a ass face, and then I also had to pay for you everywhere.
Funny, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Anyway, jet lag's a bitch. Make sure you sleep on the plane. Otherwise, you're a cranky asshole that doesn't want to appreciate a trip to Europe. And then you fight with your new girlfriend, and she's paying for you everywhere, and she hates you.
She wasn't initially, but then she was later. But yeah, guys, look. If you can make it through the adversity, and you push through a little harder,
and you talk about why people are feeling that way, like why the feelings, not just like you're my enemy because you have these adverse feelings,
I want to understand you.
But why, like, and really validate, like, try to really understand why that person feels that way, and see if you can see it from their point of view, and kind of, and I guess that's what your question comes from, is admitting when you were wrong, you know, and we've gotten so good at like admitting when we had a lapse in miscommunication, or like, you know, when
we can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait to understand what's going on. I really can't. But that's why it took us fucking 30 minutes to answer your question.
Yeah. And what
wow.
I think
this
it's
is the
so
longest
important.
episode ever, but I'm happy that we
Me
did
too,
it,
because it is important, because seeing like just people that have it worked out isn't as helpful as knowing like how they got there.
Yeah,
and
it was bumper cars.
And I want to share that with you. I hope that you guys can nip it in the bud and early in the relationship to know like if this partner is going to work for you, if they're in it as much as you are, to like want to work through those problems.
If we had like, I don't know, like I guess there's some robots being worked on right now.
Robots?
Yeah. Where they'll follow you, track you while you film stuff. But if you guys could see us on an average day, it's actually pathetic. It's pathetic.
I know, and also we're so funny. Like Steve's always like, why do we never have the camera out? Like when we're actually, because like
we do some good grade A bits.
We don't do a lot of bits anymore on camera, but like around the house, we bit nonstop, and it's like really our best work, and no one will ever see it. And then if we tried to replicate it, it just wouldn't be authentic.
Yeah.
But we're fucking hilarious. Actually,
off camera, we're really funny.
We're very
funny. If you don't
funny.
think we're funny, we're off camera.
We're not funny anymore. Funny. So no, I retired from comedy a long time ago. Like I'm very serious now, and I put this out everywhere. I say I'm very serious now. I'm a very serious person. But off camera, I am so funny, very hilarious.
I'm telling you, it's true.
Like we just like do bits.
But even today, like I don't know, we're just holding each other, and we just got a spot in Vegas, and it's not abnormal to our usual thing, but it's been a good time over here, folks.
Yeah. Well, also he was having a bad day, not a bad day, but like a frustrating day.
I had a frustrating day.
Yeah, and so I could feel it, and that's another thing too, is I can just feel even the slightest
same with you
thing off, and so we just hugged for like 10 minutes.
It was awesome.
Like we didn't say anything, we just hugged.
Yeah.
So hope you guys all have that, and I want you to have that.
No, we do.
But congrats on your marriage, person that just asked that one question that you asked that so long ago, and hopefully that was answered.
Wait, what was the question?
The one with the toxic things.
Oh yeah.
But they said in the beginning that they've been married.
That's right.
Since we were getting married. And they're very happy. So congrats.
Good.
Love that. Love hearing that.
Yeah.
And if you have a question, you could submit it to podcast@nikki.limo. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/sticky for crypto stuff and all other good stuff. And subscribe, rate us on iTunes, check out our sponsors, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Longest episode ever, a new record.
Hey, it's not really.
It is.
It's like 10 more minutes than our
way
normal episode.
longer.
You want more? Go to our Patreon.